Hello and welcome everybody. This is Muhammadul Hassan, the SAT math tutor. In this video, I'll be solving some of the hardest SAT math problems that you can come across on your next SAT exam. Let's jump in. Now, I just got these problems from PrepPros Guide Book. I'm solving 8 problems over here from number 9 to 17. Let's jump in. So the very first problem says, the quadratic function ax squared plus 200x plus c has at least one real solution. What is the greatest possible value of AC? Okay, so whenever we are talking about one real solution from a quadratic equation or quadratic function, we are basically talking about the discriminant b squared minus 4ac. And when b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, in that case, we are getting at least one real solution. Or we can say when b squared minus 4ac is greater than or equal to 0, we are getting at least one real solution. At least means greater than or equal to. So now, from this function, our a is equal to a, b is equal to 200, and c is equal to c. So basically, we just need to plug these values into this discriminant formula and find the greatest possible value of AC. So let's see. So we have 200 square minus 4. A times C is AC greater than or equal to 0. In this case, we are trying to find the composition of AC. So let's take AC as a variable x and put it greater than or equal to 0. And we can see that we are getting the maximum possible value or the greatest possible value is this 10,000. So it has to be AC less than or equal to 10,000. That's the greatest possible value you can find. Now, if you want to solve it mathematically, let's see how we can do it. So 200 square is 40,000 minus 4AC greater than or equal to 0. Subtract 40,000 from both sides. We have negative 4AC greater than or equal to negative 40,000. Divide both sides by negative 4. And since you're dividing by a negative number, the inequality sign will flip. Keep this strategy in mind. AC is less than or equal to 10,000. So that is the greatest possible value of AC. Now, in this part, over here in the Desmos, we cannot plug AC over here. If you plug AC, I cannot get any value here. So that's why I'm just putting this as X and I'm getting 10,000. This is the quickest way that you can use to solve this kind of problem on test day. Remember, you need to save your time and you need to learn some shortcut tricks on saving time. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't learn the mathematical ways of solving the problems as well. So you need to be pretty confident in using both these strategies. Now, let's move on to the next problem. Perfect. Problem number 11 says a polygon has exactly 97 sides. If the measure of each of the 97 interior angles of this polygon is 180p degrees, what is the value of P? Okay, let's see how we can solve it. Okay, so what we can do over here is, we know that, so there is a formula, total angle in any polygon is number of sides minus 2 times 180. And in this case, this is a regular polygon because all of the measure of the interior angles is exactly same, because it says if the measure of each of the 97 interior angles is 180p. So you can divide these by n. Okay, let's try to, so this is for total angle. So each angle, if I want to find each angle, it would be n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, and that should equal to 180p, because it says that would be equal to 180p over here. On both sides, 180 cancels out. We are getting p is equal to n minus 2 divided by n, and we know that n is 97. So 97 minus 2 divided by 97. In fraction, it's 95 over 2, because 97 minus 2 is 95. You are getting 95 over 97. Perfect. So this is the value of P. Now, if you don't understand that you need to divide the total angle by n, you might lose track of it. So keep this strategy in mind, or at least keep this concept in mind, that whenever you're trying to find each of the angle of a regular polygon, you need to divide by n, the number of sides. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next problem. A certain town has an area of 5.48 square miles. Which of the following is closest to the area in square years of this town? Now, whenever we need to do any unit conversion, always try to cancel out the terms that you don't need and replace this with the unit that you need. So the strategy is, we always set it as a fraction. 5.48 square miles. So I can write miles square. And now this 5.48 is just a number. I'll just write it as a fraction. So I just write this number over 1 times, I don't need this miles, I keep it at the bottom. So I put miles at the bottom, and on the top, I'll just write this years. I need years over here. But wait a minute. Okay, so we need square years, not years. That means I need to square these years. Now, whenever you square this, you don't just square the units, rather you have to square the numbers as well. So we put squares on this part of the fraction. So 1760 over 1 whole square. Now what happens, this miles square and miles square will just cancel out. You get 5.48 times 1760 over 1 square, and you get option number D. Now, the only mistake that you can do over here is not squaring this fraction, because many students can make this mistake, and this is one of the common mistakes you can do on this kind of problem. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next problem. Number 13 says one of the two equations in a system of linear equations is given. The system has no solution. Which equation could be the second equation in this system? Now, whenever the system has no solution, immediately you need to understand that the two linear equations are parallel lines. They never meet. That means it has they have same slope. So the two parallel lines have same slope, but different y-intercept. You need to understand this. If you don't understand this concept, then you cannot solve this problem correctly. Now, I know that they have same slope but different y-intercept. So let's try to map this equation in slope-intercept forms. We have 7x is equal to 105y minus 133. Move 133 to the other side. We get 7x plus 133 is equal to 105y. So divide both sides by 105. We get y is equal to 7x over 105 plus 133 over 105. Now we can try to simplify. 105 goes to 7 15 times. So this is basically 1 over 15 x plus 19 over 15. So this is my equation in slope-intercept form. Now, whenever you are using calculator, you can quickly do that on Desmos. So I'll just show you a quick trick over here. We have 7x is equal to 105y minus 133. So I just need to get y in slope-intercept form. What I want to do is I can just plug all these equations in and see if they're parallel or if they're not meeting. So if I plug all these 4 equations, I'll need to check whether I'm getting a parallel line. So x equals 15y. It's exactly same line. Okay, so x equals 15y. Let's see. These two are parallel lines not meeting. 1 over 7x is equal to 15y. It's meeting. So that's meeting together. X equals 15y minus 19. So it's exactly same line. So they are just meeting together. And the last line, 1 over 7x is equal to 15y minus 19. That's also meeting together. So the only line that's not meeting is x equals 15y. Now the reason here is for x equals 15y, if you write it in slope-intercept form, we get y is equal to 1 over 15x. And we see that we have same slope, but this one has a y-intercept of 0. So they have different y-intercept. So this one has 19 over 15, and this one has 0. So that's why option A is the right answer. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next one. Number 14. In triangle ABC, the sum of the measures of angle A and angle B is 90 degrees. the value of sine A is 2 root 7 over 8. What is the value of cos B? Now, whenever I know that the sum of any two angles is 90 degrees, immediately I know that they are complement of each other. So that means sine of one angle would be the cos of the other angle. And that means this sine A is equal to sine B, and sine A is 2 root 7 over 8. That means option A is the right answer. That's how you solve this problem. Perfect. Let me know if you have any other strategy to solve this problem quickly. Would love to know your feedback as well. Let's move on to problem number 19. Now, this is another tricky problem that you might come across on test day. It says, what is the value of k over 25 if the given equation only has one solution? So, from this absolute value equation, I know that I have 25 times absolute value of x minus 4 is equal to k. If I divide both sides by 25, I have absolute value of x minus 4 is equal to k over 25. Now, to have this absolute value equation to have only one solution, this must be equal to 0. Because if it's not 0, you cannot have one solution. So keep this strategy in mind. Basically, absolute value refers to the distance from the distance of the variable x from 0. So in this case, what I'm saying is, what is the so whenever I have absolute value of x is equal to 4, for example, it means the distance of the variable x from 0 is 4. Now, this refers to x equals plus 4 or x equals minus 4. Now I'm getting two solutions. The only way I can have only one solution is when absolute value is equal to 0, because absolute value of x equals 0, if you take it positive 0, which is technically not possible, or x equals negative 0, which is also referring to the same thing, that x equals 0. And if I just put that over here, k over 25 is equal to 0. So D is our answer. Perfect. Now, let's move on to the next problem, number 16. In the given system of equations, k is a constant. The system has no solution. What is the value of k? Again, the same concept is coming over here. When the system has no solution, it refers to same slope, different y-intercept. Now, we need to get the slope-intercept form for both equations and then find the value of k. So let's look at the first equation. We have 3 over 8x plus 7 over 5y is equal to 9 over 7 minus 7 over 5y. So add 7 over 5y to both sides. We are getting 14 over 5y. So 3 over 8x plus 14 over 5y is equal to 9 over 7. So subtract 3 over 8x from both sides. 14 over 5y is equal to negative 3 over 8x plus 9 over 7. Now, to isolate the y, we just multiply both sides by the reciprocal of its coefficient, which is 5 over 14. So if I just multiply this, each term, I'm getting y is equal to Negative 5 times negative 3 is negative 15 over 14 times 8 is 112. Plus 5 times 9 is 45, and 14 times 7 is 98. Perfect. So this is the first equation. Now we'll just need to rearrange the second equation and make the comparison. So let's try to see for the second equation. We have 5 over 4x plus 9 over 4 is equal to ky plus 4 over 3. So subtract 4 over 3 from both sides. So this will just cancel out. 9 over 4 minus 4 over 3, we are getting 11 over 12. So 5 over 4x minus 11 over 12 is equal to ky. Divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is k. So we'll have 5 over 4k times x minus 11 over 12k. So now, because they have same slope, that means these two values are equal to each other. So plug this in Desmos very quickly. Negative 15 over 112 is equal to 5 over 4k. Now we cannot solve it using a variable other than x or y in Desmos. So you can plug in y or you can plug in x. If you plug x, the vertical line is passing through a certain value. That should be your answer. Let's see. So, okay. So if you cannot read, so this is another trick that you might not understand. If you cannot read the value on the Desmos, quickly do one thing. Just do cross multiplication. 15 times 4x and now you do see that. So whenever the x is in the denominator, even though you get a vertical line, you do not get the value from the calculator or from the graph. So just do cross multiplication and move the variable x on the numerator, and you can just find that value immediately from the graph. So it's negative 9.33333 continuous, which is negative 9 whole 1 over 3. So that is negative 28 over 3. And that's exactly what we're getting over here. And that's your value of k. I hope that makes sense. Let me know how you would solve this problem. K is equal to negative 28 over 3. Perfect. Now, let's move on to our last problem in this worksheet. In the xy plane, the graph of the given equation is a circle. Which point lies on this circle? So quickly we can use Desmos over here. We have x plus 7 whole square plus y minus 11 whole square is equal to 25. Now we just need to plug in all the points and see which point is lying on this circle. So this is inside the circle, this is the radius, this is the center, sorry, this is the center of the circle, 11 over 11,7. That's outside. 11 root 11 plus 7, comma, root 14 minus 11. That's outside. That means you can immediately select number D, but we'll check it. Square root 11 minus 7, comma, square root 14 plus 11. And that's exactly lying on the circle. So that's our option D. Perfect. I hope this makes sense. If you have any strategies to share, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to know your approach as well. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Share this video with other students who might be sitting for the SAT exam in the coming March. And I'll see you in the next video. Now, let's get to study. All right, so if you need more tips, tricks, and strategies to boost your SAT math score and score 700 plus, then I invite you to join my free Skool Community group. You'll get free high quality content, free tutoring, engage with other students, and so much more. There is absolutely no charge for that. Just click the link below to join my free Skool Community group, and I'll see you in there.